Everybody. How's everybody doing? I did my walking today a couple different times. I can't do it a lot, or it starts to hurt. Might not be the right word. I don't know how to call it. It's not. As far as I'm concerned, on the pain level, it could be a lot worse. The medication they gave me is actually helping out a lot. But it starts to feel funny. Like I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I can put my feet up on my walker and some other stuff. Yesterday I did my the nurse practitioner, it's just terminology. But she mentioned the exercises the doctor had shown me, and I'm like, the doctor didn't show me any exercises. And then she showed me, she elaborated. I go, I don't consider those, more like stretching or range of movement.
I must wait to use that ability.
Didn't seem like exercises, but that's probably as good as anything to call it. But I did those yesterday, and I felt pretty, maybe I wasn't, but I felt pretty good at that point. And but then later when I got up, I almost fell over. I needed a nap.
That
I slept
ability
for
is not
a couple
yet
hours
recharged.
after that. It was weird because I didn't do that much walking yesterday. I just did the stretching and the range of motion things, and they didn't hurt. I could see if I overdid it and I was miserable, but they really didn't seem like they hurt that much.
I need spirit. My strides grow longer.
Let's see if we can avoid getting this hardcore character killed today. Yeah, just like normal, if I kill it or have a close call, I'll be done for the day.
This fight is over. Not enough spirit.
Practitioner was right though. Once you get this boot set up, it's a little time consuming, but it was real time consuming that first time. He was hooking it up for me. And when I went to stand up in that, there was a little bit of pain, and then it was fine. And the way she talked, it must not have been fully seated.
It is not
and
ready
once
yet.
when I put it on here, I think it was the first time I had taken it off and put it back on the next day. It hurt a little bit the first time I put it on, and
not enough I must spirit. Wait to use that ability.
And it only happened that one time here, so I've had really good luck with it so far.
I need spirit.
Other than that near miss, and I didn't have the boot on, but other than that near miss when I was yesterday when I was stretching, I haven't had too many close calls in where I thought I was going to fall. I haven't fallen since I've been back from the last doctor visit, and haven't had that many close calls.
Not enough spirit. That ability is not yet recharged. It is not ready yet. I need spirit. I must wait to use that ability.
Everybody's having a pretty good day, I really do. I don't know if my brother forgot to lock the door when he was gone, or my sister, the so-called trustee, broke into the house and left it unlocked when she left. I'll have to make a note of it. See if any of the cameras picked anything up. Somebody was out mowing today. I think they came out and mowed.
That ability is not yet recharged. I don't have enough spirit. Not enough spirit. I must wait to use that ability. I need to go back.
Riviera. Oh, excuse me. Okay. You know, I actually played the very first Diablo. I played the second Diablo and the expansion pack. It was, God, it was, I don't think it was made by Blizzard. I think somebody else made it. But even though that was the case, you still had to have, I believe you had to have the original game to get it to work. And I can't remember the name of it. And I had the very first Diablo 3 game, which, I mean, it was good when it came out. No complaints, but it sucks compared to this one. And I really wish I could get the chance to play the Diablo 2 reboot that they did. That one didn't bother me so much, but they got that Diablo 4 out. And I honestly would like to play that one. That one there looks interesting. It really does. Get off my dick. There we go.
Our enemies are legion. They will not take us without a fight. We must hold them here while the keys to the Holy Temple are hidden away from their leader, the fiend Nereza. Resolve must not falter, though we...
Oh shit, I screwed this up. Heals you in the Templar. Yeah, that's a good one to have. I'm dying so much. Oh, well, this is the guy I gotta kill. Usually it's some guy starts with a name starts with an H. Like northwest of here.
Not enough spirit.
Less than 10 to go. Level 14, I think I was at 11 or 12 when I started. I think I'll just clear this room and then I'll go back. I can use the levels anyways.
I need to go back. I need spirit.
You know, I think I mentioned this yesterday. I might not have. I watch some stuff on History Channel. Some more than others. Some I watch on occasion. I've been kind of loyally following that Skinwalker Ranch show they got on there, and almost as religiously the Ancient Alien. I started watching. I took a break for a while. But the one thing I will say, well, one, I want to talk about something that just recently happened. They had one show where they had they did, I think it was like a season or something ago. It was a season or two. It was one of the other seasons. They had somebody from the government. I don't know if it was the governor or some other elected, but I'm pretty sure it was an elected official. And they had him on there. And recently they had the Attorney General on there. And I gotta be honest with you, and this is just my opinion, and I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong, I don't know. But
It is not ready yet.
But the Attorney General there, he seemed like a normal guy. You know, like you know, I was in a union until I got sick, and there were people in the union that seemed like halfway decent people, like normal people. Some of them weren't necessarily any good for being in the union, but they were decent people. You know, they were people you could get along with. And then there were people that were just total politicians. And this guy didn't come off that way. He seemed like but again, I don't know him. Never met him.
I saw
him on
enough
TV
spirit.
for a couple minutes. He did. He just seemed like a genuine person, you know. And he was there for one episode, and then it was either the end of the episode or the beginning of the next episode. Memory's a little fuzzy on this, even though I just watched it. And he had looked into something because he was there, I believe, and they had a helicopter flying over the ranch. And we're talking like 500 acres, You know, this is not a football field. This thing's pretty huge, and it was clearly flying over it in pattern, so that suggests they're being watched, possibly. It's not proof, but it does suggest it. And they actually have, I don't know if you want to call it radar, but it's a thing that basically they get data on whatever is flying over the ranch. And this has happened before, at least once before, where they had something flying over it that did not appear to have a transponder. And when they did that, I think it's the chief scientist that oversees the testing. He's an observational scientist, and named Eric. And he didn't think that was legal. And somebody that was there thought, depending on the circumstances, maybe it was. He didn't know, because he goes, I'm not a pilot, so I don't know. These things are going to be a pain in the ass to kill. And, you know, because it's not military radar. And the only reason I know this is it was that Malaysian flight, I think it was, that came up missing. I saw a thing on it where they said that when they first looked into it, they didn't know where this thing went, yada, yada, yada. And then what happened was they got a hold of data from a military radar that was in the area, and they got to see much, much more of its flight path, because I guess civilian radar, at least in and around the U.S., they go by transponder data. Where military radar actually sends out shit, like a submarine, sends out shit, ping it, and then it comes back, and then the radar figures out where it is and what it is and all that. And, well, that's what they do. They get the transponder, so if the thing doesn't have a transponder, or if it is shut it off, they get nothing. And, I just want to make sure there isn't one over here. I don't want to get these done and get out of here. I'm wondering if I'm actually going to go kill the butcher, because I don't want to die again. If you guys are watching, this is the second, third, or fourth character I've had since I started streaming, and I lost one before I started streaming again. And but when this one happened, the owner's brother, who is a pilot, he made the comment that it's illegal for them to fly without a transponder. And I reached out to the owner, and he seems like a really nice guy. And he liked both my tweets. I am not online that much because with my broken foot, I don't have the ability to get around that well. I'm getting around a little bit because I can actually start to put some weight on my foot, you know, in moderation. But the computer I would use for that is upstairs. I'm on a prepaid phone, which is not very good, and some other equipment, which is not very good. And I think I have put up 3 or 4 tweets, maybe 5, in the last month or two since my foot broke. It's been at least 6 weeks, maybe longer, since it broke. And when I was doing them, stuff would crash. The stuff I texted in would disappear, and I'd have to retype it and stuff like that. So I'm just not on that much. But like when I was seeing it, you know, I want to reach out and let them know, hey, you know, because they were speculating. His brother is positive that the aircraft they heard was a Black Hawk helicopter. He said they make fairly, you know, the sound of it, if you know what you're doing, can be like a fingerprint where it lets you know what it is. And I just mentioned, I go, well, you know, if it does turn out to be a military craft, And I go, you're talking to the Attorney General. You might be able to look for violations of the Posse Comitatus Act because I got a feeling it's more of an intelligence group, but the military and the CIA have no legal authority to operate on U.S. soil. Now, if it's a training mission or something like that, fine, but if they're actually spying on U.S. citizens, you know, that you're getting into at least gray area there where you can explore it. And then I mentioned, I go, and if your brother's right, and I'm not a pilot, I don't even play one on TV, if he's right and it's illegal for them to turn that transponder on, well, they either broke the law or they had authorization, and either one might give them an avenue to make something, you know, if they really wanted to, you know, do it. And then I sent another tweet. Like I said, he liked both of them. Usually if I send more than one tweet, I'm lucky if I get one. He's pretty good though, but he's got to make that money. he doesn't have time to acknowledge my crap. I'm pretty happy with what I'm getting. And but the other one, I told him, I go, just be careful, because I go, with that Phoenix Light thing, and this is one of those ones where it died on me. They didn't crash, but all the text that I had just disappeared. And I think it happened at least once, maybe twice, where I had to go and retweet it. And I told him, I go, you know, because I mentioned the first time it was the governor. There was also a local official that got kind of screwed over by it. But I mentioned that, you know, the governor, and then when I retweeted it, I forgot to put the last tweet. I forgot to mention the governor. I didn't even mention that it was the governor, but the governor of Arizona.
That ability
He was
not yet
honestly,
recharged.
it sounds like, trying to get answers for that. And then all of a sudden, he had all these criminal charges just appear. And it was nothing new. It wasn't like something like, oh, well, you know, you fucked up, you know, a couple months ago. This was all old news. And it really appeared to be like what's going on with Merrick Garland right now. It was like, yeah, nobody, he was a Republican, if I'm not mistaken. Nobody, he was like Donald Trump. It was like Bill Barr and all these other fucking crooks and all. Nobody cared about charging him. Nobody gave a fuck until he started asking about that Phoenix Lights. And then as soon as he dropped it again, you know, it could all be circumstantial. I'm not accusing of, I really wish somebody would look into it. But as soon as he backed off and sort of started towing the, you know, the federal line of, you know, there's nothing to see here, let's move on. He did a press conference where he was,
I used to be one of them.
he brought out his chief of staff in a mask, like a UFO mask, and put handcuffs on him. Then he told everybody they were taking it too serious. And he has come out now and said that, yeah, he was pretty much forced to back off. I believe he has come out and said that. And,
to town.
well, what happened was, as soon as he started, you know, moving on, wow, plea deals were offered, charges started disappearing, and you don't have to take my word for this. You can go look this shit up. You can feel free to go look shit up. You absolutely can. Okay, what do we got here? Charges an enemy, dealing damage and stunning nearby enemies. Yeah, let's stun those enemies. And so, I sort of casually mentioned that, and I go, so, you and your friend, the Attorney General, just be careful because you guys could get scapegoated here. It's Utah, so maybe, I've got friends that would have to worry if somebody really wanted to nitpick, and hell, me too, But it was, he liked both of them, but it's like, yeah, just be careful, man, because I really like the show. I like the fact that he is doing that and sharing it with us, and I really wouldn't want to see anything happen to him. Let's go to the Chamber of Suffering. I bet you they do butt stuff in there. Yeah, it's just nasty.
Your flaws are revealed.
We have just arrived in Tristram, and I must say, I'm a bit dismayed. This place is a backwater filled with serfs and an ancient broken-down monastery, hardly fit for the king of Honduras.
17.
I cannot fathom why Lazarus was so intent on this becoming our new seat of power.
Because he was a prick. That's why he was so incensed on it. He was just not a nice guy. He wanted to make his kingdom great again. Probably ban books and fucking grab peasants by the pussy and everything else. He was just not a good guy.
We'll rip these brutes to shreds.
Probably had a son or a nephew that was trafficking women, snorting coke, and, expecting the king to pardon him and everything. Just not a good guy. I might have to backtrack. I don't know if I'm going the right way.
The gods strike through me.
Hey, what do you know? Here we go. Okay, if I lose my character here, this will be the end of the stream for today. If I survive, I might do a little Minecraft before I get out. I think he farted on it.
is not ready yet.
Oh, my life regeneration is getting me through most of this with flying colors.
I hunger. Need meat.
Rethink your intent.
Zombie flesh good. Human flesh better.
I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet recharged.
Oh, anyways, yeah, the second thing on that watching the show. Now, this isn't anything from like necessarily any one show. It's been the culture of it. Is that used to be either Navajo or Ute? It was Native American land, and it supposedly had a curse put on it.
It is not ready yet.
And the they occasionally go and talk to some of the Native Americans and get their stories, their opinions. And the thing I was thinking today when I was watching, because they were talking about it, I was watching Ancient Aliens, and I used to watch the X-Files. Sometimes I rewatch it. That's definitely a show that's still fun to watch even after all these years. But
that ability is not yet recharged.
It became more of a thing in later episodes. But they would have these things where they would talk to the Native American. It was all scripted for the show. I don't think the X-Files was a documentary. Although there are some interesting YouTube videos out there where they kind of go over the real life things that inspired some of the X-Files episodes. But there's some of these where, like there was, and this was later seasons. This was not the first couple seasons, but fucking Mulder woke up in, he woke up in some kind of abandoned train out in the middle of Indian country. And, they left him there for dead, and he was okay. I mean, he was a little dehydrated. He had some issues. Hang on. Ah, there we go. Life per second. Bingo. Life per hit. Yeah, I think I'll leave what I got.
Just the thing.
I don't know if he'll be able to use it. Let's go check with this guy. Critical hits.
Always liked that one.
We will stand together again. It's the shadows. A wise choice.
Let us seek honor together, my friend.
But watching the Ancient Aliens, and it made me think of the X-Files, and it made me think of some of the stuff they do on Skinwalker, because now it happens a lot more. You know, granted, they got like 15 or 16 or 19 episodes or seasons of it, but they have a lot of these where they actually go and talk
You have finished.
to Native Americans and other older stories, stuff that are, passed down. And it makes me wonder if, like, what are they going to
Thank you
find
for
if
coming.
they keep talking to these people? Because there might be some real stuff out there
I
if
must
they,
lessen
and
my
maybe
burden.
if they keep doing what they're doing and they build some trust with they might actually, because for the most part, they've even admitted that most of the Ute tribe that lives around the ranch, they don't want to talk to people. The elders don't. Some of the younger ones will. And there was one they did where they actually got. Now you actually see him on the History Channel on other shows like Ancient Aliens. They'll bring him in, and he did, they asked him, and he said, well, our people, when we wanted to dig or whatever, we would ask permission, and there were rituals for it. There were ways to do it, and so they asked him
can't
to do it, and he
carry
goes, well,
anymore.
yeah, I can, because he's like, I can do that for you if you want. They go, we would love that, and the security guy, this was first season, the security guy's like, yeah, amen, please. He took his hat off for it because he didn't want to. He'd heard the stories about how when you dig there, bad things happen. And he didn't want to see anybody get hurt. So he was really hoping it worked. And then when they got done, they thanked him for praying for them. And the dude looked at him dead serious. He goes, I hope all of you were praying, because he goes, I won't be here. You guys are the ones that are going to be here. You guys are the ones that are going to be digging.
Next time.
And the other thing that I like is, and it doesn't happen with all of them, and there's definitely different levels to it. But I'm gonna go ahead and stop the stream, and I'm gonna start again in a minute with Minecraft. I just want to keep the stream separate, but I'll go get Minecraft on. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just gonna end it. I'm having a pretty good moment right now, and it's just probably, and I can feel it coming on. I'm just gonna go ahead and end the stream. Hey, anybody that watches this later, checks it out on YouTube if I can get it up there this weekend. Thank you very much, and have a good day.